Today I want to tell you how I made peace with my voice and went from total struggling to having a voice that I actually love and feel good about. I decided to be a singer when I was 11, but I couldn't take singing lessons professionally until I was 16. When I started taking singing lessons, I improved quite a bit, but when I started singing, for uni, I kind of reached a plateau and I couldn't really progress much. Now, I am from Argentina, and Argentinians can be a little bit too direct sometimes, so I had my fair amount of bullying in singing school, and I really thought that I just didn't have any talent, which was very heartbreaking. However, everything changed when I discovered a trait that I have in my brain that apparently is very common, like 15% of people have it, but I didn't know, I didn't have any idea about it. I just thought I was weird. And so anyway, the trait is called highly sensitive person. So I'm a highly sensitive person. People that are highly sensitive have a brain that is more alert. And so we are more sensitive to threat, either real or perceived. Now, this is very good for us survival as a human race because we can recognize threat earlier than other people, but not very good for singing. The primary function of the vocal cords is not really singing. In fact, singing is a luxury, if you may. So one of the functions of the vocal cords is to protect our system. So when we perceive threat, the vocal cords don't want to be opening and closing and singing beautifully. They want to, keep you away from danger. And this is very important to understand for singing. For singing, if you are going to sing from an alert mode, and especially if you are a highly sensitive person like me, and your senses are very enhanced, then your voice really is not going to want to sing. For singing, you need your vocal cords to be working in singing mode, which is different from protection mode. It's completely different. When you are in alert mode, your vocal muscles don't really have freedom, and they don't want to work either. This is very important to understand, because if you try to sing from alert mode and from a feeling of insecurity, your voice is not going to respond. And people that is maybe not as sensitive, they kind of push through with it if they are stressed or perceive threat, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't affect their voice. When people do that and they force their voice, the voice quality decreases with the years, and they are not able to do everything they want with the voice either. So that is very important to understand. So anyway, so far when I was, in the singing academy and stuff, the methods that they gave us were too mechanical for me. So that means it was do that, do the sound, imitate, and they were purely mechanical. So, me highly sensitive, coming from a farm in the middle of nowhere to Buenos Aires, which is a giant city, very stressful, a bit scary. If you look at pictures of the subway in Buenos Aires, you will know what I mean. We had to sing in an environment that was very competitive. So everything made me quite stressed. What I knew is that the methods they tried to teach me, they just didn't work for me. Everything changed for me when I found a method that actually works from the nervous system. A lot of methods, as I say, are too mechanical, do this, open this, la la la, but they don't really have in consideration the brain and tuning the brain to sing. So the method that I discovered is a method called Rabine method for functional voice training, and it's really based on connecting brain, body, breath, and voice in a way in which you give the brain signals that you are safe, and then your voice can be in singing mode, and then you can train and you can improve really, really fast if you start from a sense of safety. And when I say safety, just have in mind that this is subconscious. A lot of times we are stressed, we're alert, and we don't know it. So if you are singing and you are constricting everything, that is alert mode. You are in a mode in which, if you sing and you can't move your head around, you need to lock everything, you are in alert mode. So switching to this method was great, because this method really brings your vocal instrument from speaking or other modes to singing. And that is why it's called also the functional method for vocal training. It's a functional method, which means your vocal cords are in the function of singing rather than in the function of protection. Now, of course, there are tons of vocal methods out there, and a lot of methods like to criticize other methods. But what I'm going to say is that you have to find the method that works for you. For me, when I found this method, I started progressing very, very quickly and feeling great as well, which is awesome. But for you, there are other methods that might be better. So you have to find a method that works for you. Just don't stick to one thing if it doesn't work for you. And sometimes you can come back to it later. When I could learn to sing from my singing function, then I could bring back the other methods that I have learned for contemporary singing, and they were much easier and they were much more possible because I was starting from singing mode. So those are all the internal things that you can't get from maybe a YouTube follow along video. So that's a little bit of my story, and I would like to tell you also that I actually developed my own method that blends functional voice training with functional movement and also with more contemporary methods. So this method, I have designed it specifically for contemporary singers that want to be able to do all those fancy contemporary fun things without giving up vocal health. So if you are interested, this is a 10-week program in which you're going to be working with me one-on-one and have a lot of other resources. If you're interested, you can apply from the link in the description below. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and let me know in the comments what other topics would you like to see covered.